We're on? Great. Good evening. First meeting of 2026. We'll say the pledge and we'll get right into the meeting.
Trustee Fritchie,
Present.
Trustee White,
Present.
Trustee Yost,
Present.
and Deputy Mayor Lopez, Mayor Levin.
Here.
Okay, mayoral appointments.
We're starting with that, not announcements. Okay.
Oh no, we're in the
Oh, in the,
org meeting.
okay. Oh my God, I can't even see. So I could do it this way, but I think it'll just save a lot of time if we, the mayoral appointments in A, everything stays the same. The liaison to boards and committees in B, after speaking to all the board members, some of the chairs, they all remain the same as 2025.
Thank you.
You.
Organizational meeting, annual resolutions. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining will hold regular meetings of the Village Board as set forth in the schedule below for the year 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at the Birdsall-Fagan Police Court Facility, Ossining, New York 10562, and via Zoom. The list of the meetings will be on the clerk's office wall and on the webpage. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Board of Trustees meeting schedule work sessions. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining will hold the work sessions of the Board of Trustees as set forth in the schedule below for the year 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at the Municipal Building, first floor conference room, 16 Croton Avenue, Ossining, New York 10562, and via Zoom. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All
Sue?
in favor?
Aye.
Official newspaper, Gazette. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby designates the Gazette as the official newspaper of the Village of Ossining for 2026 and or the Journal News as necessary. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in
Sue?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mileage allowance. 2026. Resolved that whenever it is appropriate to compensate village officials and or village employees for mileages, such officials and or employees will be reimbursed at the 2026 rate of 72 and a half cents per mile to be paid upon claim voucher after audit and approval in accordance with the IRS standards. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Retaining bond counsel. Resolved that upon recommendation of the village treasurer, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby retains the firm of Borick, Harrington, and
Sutcliffe.
LLP, 666 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, 10103-001, to serve as the bond counsel effective immediately in accordance with the letter correspondence dated December 20th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Village of Ossining financial goals and policies. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approve and adopt the following financial goals for the Village of Ossining. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 pages long, and it will be posted on the bulletin board at the clerk's office, and it is on the web page. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Before you go, Sue, Dale, good evening. Are you on?
Yes,
You're on mute.
Yes.
Hi.
Good evening, Mayor
Evening.
and Board. How are you?
Good, thank you. Dale, just on the goals, any change from 2025 that we should know about?
There are no changes. We strive to meet every single one of those goals all throughout the year. I know for us going into 2026, we would like to do more on the reporting end to the board for the fiscal year. So that is an enhancement of one of the goals that's already there. So we will work on that for the coming year.
Great. Did the investment change at all? Because we're sort of hitting near the in the reserves, we're hitting very closer than we've ever been. So are there any policy changes or strategy changes there? Or
We-
we're just going to deal with it as we go along?
We left the reserves the same amounts as last year. We should be okay. I've been monitoring as we go along. So we're okay right now. We will see mid-year when we get into potential additional borrows that we're going to have to do for the water treatment plant and the multimodal hub. I might come back to the board to ask to increase some of these limits to diversify at that point.
Okay. Thank you. Sue?
Okay, all in favor of the first resolution?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, finance, adoption of the investment policy. Whereas pursuant with General Municipal Law, Section 39, local governments of the state of New York, including villages, are required to adopt a comprehensive written investment policy. And whereas local governments are required to review their investment policies on an annual basis, and whereas the Village of Ossining has reviewed this policy since adoption in 1993, now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approve and adopt the following investment policy for the Village of Ossining, subject to approval of Corporation Council. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And again, all of the investment policies will be posted on the bulletin board and on the webpage. And since we discussed it already, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let me go from all my pages. Okay, finance debt management policy. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby adopts the debt management policy as follows. The treasurer will monitor the debt portfolio annually and refinancing opportunities where through services of a financial advisor. This can be done in conjunction with continuing disclosure process. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Finance, adoption of procurement policy. Resolved that the Village of Ossining hereby adopt the following procurement policy, which is intended to apply to all goods and services that are not required by law to be publicly bid. And again, we have the procurement policy will be posted on the bulletin board in the clerk's office and also on the webpage. It is like 4 or 5 pages long. I'm sorry, trying to get to the end. Well, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finance, adoption of expense reimbursement policy for village employees and public officials other than elected officials. Whereas the Village of Ossining has established guidelines by which the village employees and public officials other than elected officials may be appropriately reimbursed for such expenses, now therefore being resolved that the Village of Ossining hereby adopt the following expense reimbursement policy for the Village of Ossining employees and public officers other than elected officers. And again, that policy will be posted on the bulletin board at the clerk's office and is on the webpage. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in
Move.
favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Reappointment of Deputy Village Clerk, Janice D. Ginisaka. Resolved that resolved that the Village of Ossining Board of Trustees hereby reappoints Janice B. Ginisaka as Deputy Village Clerk for the term of office of January 1, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. I personally thank you. Personnel Management Benefit Plan. Resolved that the Village of Ossining hereby provide benefits for elected official managers and appointed personnel as follows. And again, the management benefit plans will be on the webpage and posted on the clerk's office. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are up to, we are going to close. Do I have a motion to close the reorg meeting, reorganization?
So moved.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we'll open up the regular meeting, mayor and trustee announcements.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a page. Skipped around.
I'm going to try to get these pages numbered from now on, then we can,
Yeah, it would be helpful because I've lost my spot.
I know.
What do you see
Sorry.
pages on? Oh, you just did it on yours? Back into last time. There we go. All right. Dana, let's start with you. Any announcements?
Happy New Year and let's get it done. That's all I have.
Okay. Deputy Mayor?
No, much the same.
Just want to, excuse me, want to say Happy New Year, and we got a lot of stuff going on this year, so keep your eyes open around the village.
Great, thank you. I would say ditto to everybody else. It is true. There's going to be a lot of construction, a lot of projects, all of which we've been discussing for a number of years. 2026, I think, is going to be a super exciting year in Ossining. And do keep your eyes open. We do keep your eyes on whatever social media you're using, because we are going to send out information about all of those items as well. Next week, as has been my tradition, I will be doing, really for myself on behalf of the board, the sort of a year in review, some of the key initiatives, accomplishments, and going forward material. I usually do that second meeting, not on the first one. So I appreciate all the work that everybody's been doing. Looking forward to 2026. The village manager, I think.
Thank you.
Too.
Administrative reports, village manager, Karen DeTore.
Good evening and happy new year, everybody. So speaking of projects underway, I just left the community center where we were reviewing the design concepts for the renovation with members of the Recreation Advisory Board and the Youth Advisory Board and the Youth Council. And we had gone over just the look and feel of the center in terms of color schemes and finishing materials, carpeting treatments, flooring treatments, a whole range of things. We answered a lot of questions. So I think that the big takeaways is, generally speaking, the look and feel. I think we're on target, and we've met the sort of requirements of input that we've gotten through community engagement with our stakeholder groups as well as the public at large. But a lot of the conversation obviously focused around how long is it going to take? What's going to happen when it's, when we start the project? Are you going to close down the site? Where are we going to have our youth bureau meetings? All types of really good questions. We do plan to phase the construction to minimize any downtime for the community center. That it will be a discussion that once we go out to bid, which we anticipate going out to bid end of the month, early February, subsequent to a meeting with the Board of Trustees at a work session next week to go over many of the same items, as well as a recap of the floor plans and the changes that we're making at the work session next week. Once we get a contractor hired, we will go over a schedule and really figure out the most cost-effective way to stage the project. So there's pros and cons. If you keep the center closed, you can probably get it done a lot faster and potentially cheaper, but it would still take many months. And I don't think that anybody wants to see the center closed. So we'll be able to do sort of a cost benefit analysis similar to what we did when we were doing some of the pool renovations, of mitigating or minimizing the time closed, but then also understanding that we'll have certain program revenue and things like that to keep us afloat, and trying to do the work will probably get started based on the timetable we're in, like May or June. And that will allow us to do a substantial amount of work during the warmer months, when we can take advantage of the fact that we're running camp programs as opposed to everyday after-school childcare during the summer. So again, all of these things remain to be seen, but we are thinking about all of the ways to make sure we stay on budget. And that while it will take longer to do the project, if we keep the center open, it will also minimize disruption and allow us to continue programs and provide childcare services or after school camp programs. It's not really childcare, but it does benefit parents who work. So all those things are under consideration, and I have told the Youth Bureau and other, for groups and meetings, we have other facilities that can be used for meetings. As far as running recreational programs, what we can't do outside, we'll tailor to what the spaces that we have available as we're doing the renovation. But all of those questions were good ones, and we're excited to be able to have a subsequent presentation next week at the work session where the board can also ask questions and we can review for the public. And we will promote that so the public's aware that we're having those discussions for next Wednesday with our design consultants. We also, on our multimodal site, also known as our parking structure in the Brandreth lot, a groundbreaking has been scheduled for January 23rd. And that's a Friday at 11 p.m. Since AM, sorry. Not in the middle of the
11
night.
p.m. All you can eat.
Midnight. Yes. So we will be having we are having the Secretary of State will be in attendance, as well as our state and county elected officials. And the presentation and comments made by elected officials and the various entities. Remember, we were getting money from the Department of State and Empire State Development for this project. We'll stage that in the community center in the gym. And then once the comments are done, we'll walk over to the site and do a ceremonial groundbreaking and take pictures. Hopefully, we'll be having nice, not too cold weather that day. If there's a severe weather warning, we may have to change gears. But right now, subsequent to that, the Secretary of State is also would like to take a visit to the police department. And I haven't gotten a chance to tell the chief, but I did tell him a while ago, but he might have forgotten. But I'm not trying to blindside you, chief, but he'd like to stop by because he wants to just talk to you about the shared services grant that Ossining was awarded in conjunction with other municipalities in the area. So he'll be stopping by to say hi too. I'll let him know. And the water treatment plant continues to move forward. We did get the comments from the local regions for the final comments for our road diet. So we've been waiting a bit of time for that from the Department of Transportation. We got them last night. And once those are resolved, we'll be able to get the bid out and hopefully start that project too, so that we'll be sure to be doing everything simultaneously because that's the way we roll here. But the good news is we've anticipated all of this, and we have many, many different ways of people to park and shop and keep everything happening. We've been thinking about this for some time now. So we're excited to get these projects up and running. I did also hear from the library, they'll be doing their renovations at the same time too.
Good. Good to know.
But
The school is also.
and the school. So a lot's going on in listening, but also all positive, all things we need, all things that will vastly improve our quality of life and, economic development opportunities and a whole range of different things, including more diverse housing options that we have with different projects. But that said, these are projects that we've talked about for a long time. We will continue to talk about them because as much as we talk about them, still getting that word out to the public is always something, a challenge, and we will continue to try our best to do that. But lots of exciting things. All these projects have been received well within the community, and we will certainly work to mitigate and minimize any disruption during any of the construction phase. So that's my comments for tonight, but we have
Great.
going on in 2026.
We spoke earlier about sort of accomplishments and going forward. what we should also be talking about is how much employment this is creating locally. Because it seems like each of this project is really by different developers, different construction crews. So it's sort of, I think it's just another data point that we oftentimes forget. Hopefully our local businesses might benefit, especially the food businesses, from some of this. And just food for thought. Oh, little pun there.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Corporation Counsel, Stuart Kahan.
Chief, is it okay if I talk about parking? Thank you, sir. You got it.
He really wanted to talk about it, but he's going to let you do it, Stuart.
Well, before I talk about parking, let me first talk about FOIL requests. 2025 was another record year. We had 1,050 FOILs, which is an increase of 40 from the year before. And just in comparison, in 2021, we had 731 FOILs. So, and it's really with the same staff. The clerk's office gets the brunt. Police department, Lieutenant McGovern and Officer Laboulatine do, and Teresa do a phenomenal job in getting their end of it. Building department, planning department, finance department. It is a multi-pronged effort to get through all of those, and they do it all very well. So my thanks. If you're interested, that actually averages out to just under 3 FOILs a day that comes in, and that's on a 365-day year. So we get a lot, and they come in consistently. We're already up to, I think, about 10 already for this year. Turning to parking, in 2025, 26,544 parking tickets were issued by police officers and parking enforcement officers. In comparison, in 2024, 16,941 tickets were issued. That difference of almost 10,000 is itself very impressive. What's even more impressive is that for the first 3 months of 2025, the village was actually running about 400 tickets behind 2024. So they not only made that up, but as I said, 26,544. But to go further, 5 specific tickets account for 75% of all tickets written in the village.
What do you mean 5 tickets? You mean
5
5
types
people?
of tickets.
Oh, 5 types.
No parking improper area, which means you park between 3 and 6 a.m. in a place you're not supposed to park. No parking, no tag. 3 to 6, pretty self-explanatory. No parking 3 to 6 commercial vehicle. No tag in a municipal lot, and an overtime meter. Those alone count for almost 20,000 tickets written in the year. And I can tell you, as being the prosecutor, 90% of the tickets that come in through that I deal with are overnight tickets every single time. So I tell the people the same thing. If you think you're parking on the street without a permit, you will get a ticket. It's simply that's what's occurring. But again, the numbers bear it out that those 5 classes of tickets account for, as I said, 3 out of every 4 tickets written. So again, if you're doing something at between 3 and 6 a.m. and you don't have your car parked with a permit and you're on the wrong side, you will absolutely get a ticket. Or if you've got an overtime meter, or if you're in a municipal lot, you will absolutely get a ticket. The numbers indicate that. The tickets that are issued indicate that. And just to indicate it, it was a 56% increase in tickets over last year. Part of that is attributable to the fact that we now have some more parking enforcement officers, particularly a night parking enforcement officer who is able to handle that. But it's a lot of work from the police end. It's a lot more tickets that come in. But the bottom line is that if you need to get an overnight tag, apply. Do what has to be done, because it's $50, but if you don't pay within 30 days, it's 100, then the 100 goes to 200, and it just keeps adding up. So it's, and at some point you keep getting the tickets, you'll become a scofflaw, and then you won't register your car. So and as I always tell people with regard to improper area, if there's no sign, you don't park there. It's as simple as that. read the signs. If there is no sign posted, you may not park between 3 and 6 a.m. on that particular side of the street or that particular street. Thanks.
You.
Police Chief Aaron Zimmerman.
Thank you, Stuart. That was well stated. Just to piggyback a little bit off of that in regards to parking in bad weather, recently we had a pretty decent snowstorm down here, and the village declared a state of emergency for the weather. And main reason for that is so we can clear the roads so that everyone can get around when the snow is done. Unfortunately, there were more cars than usual parked on snow emergency streets, and they are ticketed and towed. We make an effort to try to locate the owner and have them move the car. But if you're just tuning into this and you mix the nixles and the social media posts and everything else, if you're on a snow emergency street, you need to move your car, or else we will move it for you. But it's more fiscally responsible for you to move it on your own. When we do it, it comes with a price tag. But the main reason for that is not just to be, inconsiderate to where you're parking or make things inconvenient for you. It's so the DPW guys can do the best job that they can clearing the roadway, so that way when the snow stops, everyone can get back to business as usual. So it really is for the community's benefit more than anything. So please, if there's another emergency declared, please move your car. On top of that, speaking of projects and renovations going on throughout the village, right here at the police department, our desk project has started. Noticed on social media, we have a temporary dispatch and desk area, so walk-ins and people requiring police services. If you show up to headquarters, our front doors are temporarily closed, but all you got to do is walk a few feet to your right and come into the court entrance, and we have a temporary dispatch area set up here. Operates the same as it would if you come into the front doors of headquarters. So please, we're not closed. There's plenty of signage to indicate that, but to reiterate and reassure everybody that if you need us, we are here 24/7. We're not closed during any part of the day. We're still here. We're still answer the phone. We're still here in person. Records are still open, all of that. But please keep in mind, just because we are sort of have relocated to the court lobby, the court offices are still maintaining their normal course of business. So even though the court may appear to be open after hours, that's because it's now operating as a police dispatch center. Cannot pay a ticket or get anything from the court clerk, even though we're here. So just keep that in mind. You can't come pay a parking ticket afterwards. So see Stuart on that on court day. And other than that, tomorrow being the 8th, we will have our first weekly stat drop on OPD Facebook page. We are going to be putting out weekly stats for certain things online for the community, and anyone who wants to take a look can see. Those stats will consist of certain calls for service, traffic accidents, things of that nature. I can give you a preview of what it will say. It'll have blotter events, traffic stops, arrests, and traffic accidents, non-injury, injury, and or fatal, God forbid. Arrests will be broken down into felony, misdemeanor, and out of that DWI as well. I'll list the number of traffic stops conducted and just calls for service in general. So there'll be 4 main topics, and that'll be a complete 7 days worth of data. So tomorrow being the 8th, you'll have the 1st through the 7th, and then on the 15th, and so on. So it won't be a particular day of the week. It'll be a particular date of the month. So every 8 days, you'll see that on our Facebook and social media. Keep everyone informed. Any calls of note that might come up, you might see that as well. So just to kind of share, give a little bit more insight as to what we do on a day-to-day basis, other than some of the higher profile things or some of the more humanitarian things that go on, but just kind of give you a good insight as to what we do on a day-to-day basis and what the officers at the OPD really have to deal with. Higher profile things. Stay tuned. That's all I got.
Okay. Organizational announcements.
I
Announcements.
just asked a
I
question.
apologize.
Oh, no worries. Karen, What we haven't discussed, but Chief's commentary on changes and data, the website, at the end of 25, really a couple of weeks ago, board signed off on a new, website company. Can we just let the public know when are they going to start? Are they going to see anything different about the website, or it's just on the back end?
They're not really going to start
Communication's like a
seeing
big
these
deal.
changes
Okay.
probably till like 6 months from now. So we will keep the board updated, but it's going to take a while to roll
Okay.
out those changes.
I'm more interested when the public sees a change, we'd like to point that out because it's going to be more coordinated across a lot of the websites and subsites. Great. Thank you. Sue?
Okay. Organizational announcements. Announcements must be event related only and shall be no longer than 2 minutes in length. Is there anyone online that would like to do an organizational announcement? Seeing no one. Public comments on agenda items. Visitors will be accorded a 4-minute opportunity to address the board on any of the resolutions on the agenda. Is there anyone online? Please raise your virtual hand if you do. Seeing no one. Visitor recognition. Visitors are accorded a 3-minute opportunity to address the board on issues not relating to the agenda but of relevance to the common good of the village. Is there anyone in our virtual world that wants to do that? Nobody. Okay, village board resolutions. Approval of minutes, December 17th, 2025. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the minutes of the December 17th, 2025 regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of voucher detail report, January 7th, 2026. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated January 7th, 2026 in the amount of $11,338,989.08. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Hey, Dale,
Any comments?
It looks like Pat Yost has some comments.
maybe you can speak. I mean, most of this is due to one like significant healthcare line, right? Which I'm sure is an aggregation of a bunch of stuff. Maybe you can, maybe you can educate everybody so that they can understand what's in that detail.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trustee Joyce. In the first meeting of the year, the village always puts what we call blanket purchase orders on our voucher detail report, which lists our blanket amount for the full year for our health claims, our health insurance, third-party administrator, our stop loss insurance for health, as well as workers' comp, tail claims as well, and dental insurance. We do this because we basically are a pay-as-you-go in terms of these insurances because we're self-insured. So by accepting and approving the blanket purchase orders at the beginning of the year, it allows the finance department the flexibility to process these claims timely so that there are no hiccups in funds being distributed back and forth to the actual costs that we are billed. So that is a large part of that 11 million. Those blanket purchase orders totaled $9,637,350 of the 11,338,989. Additionally, in this voucher detail run, we had to pay our general liability insurance, as well as our annual for the year workers' comp, additional excess insurance. So those items totaled almost $1 million. So that amount is part of the 1,701,639 amount, as well as we got in the 50% payment for the village's laser fiche portion. Sue will be happy about that. So we're covered for our annual costs for the year for laser fiche. And additionally, we had prepaid the firefighter cancer insurance in December so that we made sure we were covered. So that is also brought over into this voucher detail report for approval. And that totaled a little, I think around 18,000 as well. So a lot of the payments on this voucher detail report are one-time expenses or blankets that will not be reoccurring because they're covering us for the whole year.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the IBWTP voucher detail, January 7th, 2026. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the IBWTP voucher detail report for January 7th, 2026 in the amount of $198,646.69. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstains? Abstain?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't just hear.
That's all right.
Okay, agreement with the A1 Computer Services, Inc. Resolved that following review of Corporation Counsel, the village manager is authorized to sign service level agreement with A1 for a term of January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agreement with the SPCA of Westchester, Inc. Resolved that following review of Corporation Counsel, the village manager is authorized to sign the agreement with the SPCA of Westchester, Inc., also known as known as SPCA from now on, 590 North State Road, Briarcliff Manor, New York, in the town of Ossining, for the terms of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, whereby the SPCA will provide care and shelter for homeless and stray dogs and cats, and shall humanely care for animals brought to the SPCA by animal control officers, police, and other agents. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Stuart, did this go up again this year or stayed the same?
Same amount, Mayor.
Great. Thank you. Sue?
All in favor?
Aye.
Reappointment of the Police Complaint Review Board. Resolved that the Board of Trustees reappoints the following members of the Civilian Police Complaint Review Board for a 2-year term expiring on December 31st, 2027. Cassandra Garrett, Jennifer Cabrera, and Rose Ann Gonzalez. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any comments on this or we're good?
We're good.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Village Manager, Cybersecurity and IT Advisory Services. Resolved that following review of Corporation Counsel, the Village Manager is authorized to sign the December 23rd, 2025 proposal from Thomas DeMayo on behalf of PFK O'Connor Davies Advisory, LLC, 245 Park Avenue, New York, New York, for cybersecurity and IT advisory services. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very much. Corporation Counsel, engagement of special counsel. Resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the engagement of Bond, Chernick, and King to represent the Village of Ossining in the claim brought by Sonia Tanksley. To be further resolved that the term of the engagement for special counsel are consistent with the November 30th, 2023 retainer agreement. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don't have any continuing business of the board. Have new business
New
of the board.
business, yeah.
Take that. Yeah.
Appointment to Civilian Police Complaint Review Board, Polly Puna. Resolved that the Board of Trustees appoints Polly Puna to the Civilian Police Complaint Review Board as an alternate member from the unincorporated area of the town of Ossining for a 2-year term expiring on December 31, 2027. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, Recreation and Parks Department, accept donation. Resolved that the Superintendent of the Recreation and Parks Department is authorized to accept from Sandy Gale a donation of $25 in memory of Rosemarie Parisi, a past president of the Golden Agers Club, and is further resolved that the Village of Ossining Board of Trustees gratefully acknowledges the donation to the Recreation and Parks Department. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, We have, do we have executive session?
On a matter of personnel, yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn to executive session for a matter of personnel?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's 8:11 on our first legislative meeting of the year. And we look forward to seeing everyone in our business session next Wednesday at our regularly scheduled time. Have a good evening.